Thrift stores have become popular in recent years, but they are not immune from highs and lows. In fact, one local secondhand store has seen increased competition and, as Eric Nelson reports, must now make changes.
There's a kind of a cost crunch for thrift stores right now.
Step inside ARC's Value Village in New Hope, and you are in bargain heaven.
Our shoppers are very price sensitive, and our average price is $3 an item.
From kitchen items to clothes, there is more than two of everything in this ARC. It's all sold at a discount that benefits a trusted charity.
The value of thrift stores is giving back to the community, recycling valuable materials that would otherwise be in a trash heap somewhere.
You buy a shirt for a couple of bucks and you are literally helping your neighbor who has a disability through the ARC Minnesota.
ARC's Value Village has been around since the 1980s. It's one of the many nonprofit thrift stores in the northwest suburbs.
The stigma of used items has gone away.
However, some thrift stores are facing financial turbulence.
Costs and overhead keep going up.
There are a lot of strong headwinds right now. We have a lot of competition in the thrift business in the Twin Cities.
Rent and wages keep going up, but prices remain the same. As a result, those in the thrift store business are trying to get creative to stay solvent and generate more revenue.
There are bumps in the road. Yep, you have to continuously work to find what's new and exciting for our guests.
ARC's now has a service that finds items to fit a shopper's profile and even has an eBay site. They are hoping these changes and others will result in more profit. ARC has 4 stores in the Twin Cities, but will soon close its St. Paul location. That's because that one has never been profitable. In New Hope, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
ARC's Value Village closed its Brooklyn Center store last year, not because it was losing money, but because it lost its lease. Grocery shoppers will have one less delivery option here in the northwest suburbs. CobornDelivers announced it's ending its home delivery service for most of the Twin Cities. CobornDelivers has used this facility in New Hope to make grocery deliveries for online shoppers to the entire Twin Cities market. The company will focus instead on its brick and mortar stores, which are concentrated around St. Cloud and in outer ring suburbs. CobornDelivers was an early player in the online grocery delivery business when it bought Simon's Delivers, but in recent years it faced increased competition. Law enforcement from around the Twin Cities will gather in Brooklyn Park to remember an off-duty officer killed when he was struck by a vehicle while riding his bicycle. Detective Kevin Heggie worked for the Hopkins Police Department. He lived in Rogers and previously lived in Brooklyn Center. Detective Heggie was a father of 3 children. A memorial service will take place Friday at 11 a.m. at Grace Fellowship Church in Brooklyn Park. Maple Grove police collected hundreds of donated backpacks during National Night Out neighborhood block parties. Officers teamed up with local nonprofit Cross for the collection effort. They have a goal of getting 3,000 backpacks by early next week. 1,000 of those backpacks will be handed out to Maple Grove students later this month.
I never knew there was as much of a need as there is, but I know last year they gave out a little over 900 backpacks to families here just in Maple Grove. So there certainly is a need for it.
If you would like to donate, backpack drop-off sites are at Menards and Spire Bank in Maple Grove. The city of Brooklyn Park got a special visit by dignitaries from West African countries. A governor from Liberia and one from Nigeria toured the city on Wednesday. They made a stop at the water treatment facility to check out Brooklyn Park's new solar energy system. They were interested in how the city financed the project. The leaders want to know if they can use the same model in their homeland.
And they were interested in the investment that the city made and the solar panels. And of course, our investment was zero, but we're going to be saving over $60,000 a year.
We are hopeful of getting some of the solar panel back home that will help our hospital, that will help our schools and other community areas.
That's what I want to do after negotiation, to see if I can take this model and also repeat it in my state.
These are the biggest areas.
The African leaders were also curious about the solar maintenance costs. Brooklyn Park officials estimate that number to be around $20,000 a year over 20 years. A local fundraising effort was all ears. The New Hope Lions corn feed took place Wednesday, raising money for local charities.
It's one of our 4 fundraisers throughout the year. So we're raising money that goes back into the community. We benefit things. We've got Boy Scout troops, so we sponsor 3 of them. 2 of them are here working with us. We give food to money to Prism, Near Food Shelf Network, the food group. We helped pay for the patio at the new golf course. We bought the digital message board at the golf course as well. So the money we raise throughout the year goes back into the community, one form or fashion.
Oswald said they expected to go through more than 4,300 ears of fresh-picked sweet corn. And given the good weather Wednesday, they came close with hundreds of people attending. Some Brooklyn Park girls are spending their summer vacation helping others in need. The girls set up shop in the 4300 block of Marigold Avenue North. They say they really don't mind standing out in the hot sun selling lemonade because this endeavor is all about helping out the homeless.
So we want to buy them like razors to shave and some other things so that they can be healthy and just be good people.
We want to make sure that the homeless are treated the way that us people get treated.
The girls came up with the idea after seeing homeless people in the area. You still have time to help them out. They plan to continue the sale until Friday.
NFL teams are in training camp and getting started with exhibition games this week. A Brooklyn Park native and former Park Center star will make his debut Thursday night for the Tennessee Titans. Number 37, Titans safety Amani Hooker, seen in camp, has impressed many in the Titans camp this fall. Pro Football Focus calls Hooker one of the under-the-radar rookies to watch. He's had some reps with the first-team defense, and the Titans like the versatility he brings to their defense. Hooker was a 4th-round pick out of Iowa. The Titans open the preseason against Philadelphia on Thursday night. While Amani Hooker and company have been hard at work at training camp, prep athletes in our area will hit the ground running next week. It's the calm before the storm this week for local activities directors like Osseo's Bill Kwan, along with staff and coaches. What happens on the field is most noticeable to the public, of course, but there's plenty of behind-the-scenes prep work that goes into getting set for the fall season.
Yep, a lot of communication through email and texting, but trying to get our orders in to make sure they have all the equipment they need for the season. That happened in late July, and we have a all coaches meeting coming up here pretty quick, just to kind of remember why we do what we do and get some important information across to them about the upcoming season.
Coaching changes at Osseo this fall are Pat Hager moving from the boys soccer program to become the girls head coach, and former Orioles star Martin Brown is the new boys head soccer coach. Fishing for tough bite bass is the subject of this week's CCX Sports Fishing Tip. Here's Terry Tuma with more.
I just got off the river fishing bass, but the biggest issue was mayflies, very heavy mayfly hatch, very, very difficult fishing. The only way I was able to catch any fish at all was casting with a spinning rod and a reel and nanofill line, casting number 4 shad wraps or small crankbaits. It was really nothing more than persistence and patience, working these specific areas where these bass were feeding on these mayflies. And the reason being, it's not only that situation of mayflies, but whenever these fish are not feeding not only bass but several species of fish, I really believe that they strike out of a reaction of reflex, if you will. Just like when we're out, maybe we're holding a rod and a reel or a set of keys from our truck, and we swing our hand and our hand hits an object, automatically our hand opens up. That's exactly what these fish are doing. Almost like, get it out of my way. And if we can work with that system, patience, a lot of extra work, but you are going to be productive under these kind of tough bite conditions. Not only mayfly, but when they're just not feeding. Give it a try.
Thanks, Terry. That's all for sports. Delane, back to you.
Nice, Jay. The nice weather this week makes for a perfect time to get outside and enjoy nature. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl had the opportunity to visit Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park. We leave you with some of the sights and sounds of the area. Enjoy.